What was special about 1930? It was the beginning of the Great Depression, okay? So, we enter the Great Depression. The Great Depression was a worldwide phenomenon. It wasn't just US, okay? And unemployment went really high all over the world, but especially in the US, okay? What's our unemployment rate today?
Just under 8.
A little under 8. How high did it get during this last recession? 9 something, okay? During the Great Depression in the US, the measured unemployment rate hit 28%. 28%. That's huge, okay? And there was a lot of partial unemployment, okay? Employers said, I've got good news and bad news. The good news is I'm not firing you. The bad news is I'm cutting your hours, okay? So most estimates think that practically speaking, we had about 50% unemployment, which is astronomical. You know, that's why they call it the Great Depression. Okay? How long did it last? Okay. Of course, it depends on how you measure these things. What? Okay. Suppose we say we went from a recession to a depression when the unemployment rate hit 10%. Just an arbitrary number, 10%. And then it went way up, and then gradually it came back down. And when it hit 10% again on the downside, we declare the depression over. Right? So this is just kind of a rough estimate. Okay? When did the unemployment rate go above 10% the first time? 30. It was 1930. Because the stock market crash was in October, it took a little while for it to happen. So 1930 was the beginning. When did it end? When did unemployment fall back down below 10%? 1942. Right? How long was the Great Depression? 12 years. More than a decade. So we had these horrible economic problems. And everyone went to the economists and they said, what's going on here? And the economist said, not to worry. This is a temporary thing. Theory's very clear on this. In the long run, we have full employment. Yeah. How do you think that went over? Not that great. Okay, and in fact, the classical economists got kicked out of the fraternity. That was sort of the end of classical economics. And the reason was because they couldn't understand, they couldn't explain what was actually happening.